Look, man. You know, look, here's what's got on the show. Hello, it's me. Back with another life, yep. Summertime, yo. Having a good time. Why do so many people do coke? I just realized this, and it's low-key common. People do coke. When I was a kid, people didn't do coke. People did coke when I was a kid. But when I was a kid, I never thought people did coke like that. Dude, you're doing lines of cocaine in the bathroom. Like, what are you doing, dude? Yo, dude, the booger sugar, dude. That's something you do, like, when you're 30, not when you're 20, not when you're 20, not when you're 15. Yo, what? Like, I never knew that. You know, maybe I'm an unseasoned jit, but I never knew that. That's insane. I never knew that. But if you do it, send me a pound. No, I'm playing. Send me a kilo. It's a little less. Wait, is it? No, send me a kilo's a little more. Don't send me any drugs. That's gross. But yeah, man. You never expect that, man. On a second drop. Yo, I drew Gordon Ramsay. You see them faces right there? Dude, I drew Gordon Ramsay. Let me tap you in real quick. Dude, he looks so stupid. Give me a second. Yo. Look at this fucking dumbass picture I drew. Tell me it don't look like him, though. Shut up. Everyone shut up. Alright, that was kind of a burp. Look at him. Look at him all snazzed out. I'll put him in the light. So much aura. And I drew Dr. House, too. The Dr. House one, he looked a little stupid. He kind of looked like Epstein. Give me a second. He kind of looked like Epstein. And that's not my fault, you know. But I mean, it kind of looked like him. He just looked like he like doom and despair in them eyes. Yo, I like them. They're good. And I drew a map today. Oh my gosh. Let me show you, dude. Kind of complicated to look at. Actually, don't look at it. Give me a second. Let me close my door. Let me get a fan. Oh, let me tell you guys. Let me just talk. Let me yap to y'alls. This is my fan. It's got an Asian lady playing the flute. I'm assuming it's Chinese. This looks like Mandarin. I'm pretty sure the flute is invented in China. And this looks like a Chinese person. No disrespect. As I was saying, can you hear that? Oh, yeah, you can. Okay, well, I was looking at my audio input bars. They're going up and down. Yeah, okay. I do like the feeling though, because it's wind, and I just got out of the shower. My hair's wet. You know. Oh, hello, dog. You know, I think it's just Kanye West is so weird, man, because it's like every other day he's going evil, man. Every other day. And you know, it's like repeatedly. It's like back in a couple years ago, Jonah Hill. He said, "Jonah Hill brought me back. I'm a good man now. I'm coolin'. We're having a good time." But then he goes back into it, and it's like, what are you doing, man? Come on, lock up. And he's like, I met my children. I think he's on his period. I think he's ovulating right now. He was on his period not too long ago, but now he's ovulating. No disrespect to not trying to offend people who have sexual reproductive cycles. Anyway, speaking of period, Elon Musk broke up with Donald Trump. I think this is a perfect time for Donald Trump to get back with Joe Biden. You know, or you know, and like ever since Donald Trump and Xi Jinping broke up, I mean, like, yeah, I'm just saying, hey, they've been beefing. They've been going economy for economy. And I think Elon Musk, two narcissists, they don't play, they don't work out. You know, I know Donald Trump, he was in a relationship with Kim Jong Un. I know they had a thing. you know. But I think he has to go back to Joe Biden. You know, they had a thing for each other, and you know, I don't think Elon Musk was the guy. And also, low-key, Trump. He's just I don't know. I don't think Elon Musk was good for him. You know, Elon Musk they break up. You know, it's unfortunate. But I think Xi Jinping should continue to slander both of them. It's funny. Um, yeah, Vladimir Putin obviously. You know, he's trying to get with Xi Jinping. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how this plays out. You know, and Twitter too is just. I mean, Twitter is really an insane. And it's Twitter is really, like insane because you be seeing the crazy stuff on there. Like, give me an example. Like, yo, I'ma freaking strangle your dick with a seatbelt and shoot your nuts with a paintball gun. And you know, you said that to a normal person, they'd be like, "Whoa, what the hell? You sound crazy." You're like, "No, that wasn't me. I found it on Twitter." Okay, you know, and it's like Elon Musk's Twitter X. It's not making it any better. Not at all. Not at all. I mean, just the other day, dude, I saw these guys. They got in a sword fight, and it's like the dude. There's some two Haitian dudes. They got in a sword fight, and freaking the guy's hand got cut off, and he goes and grabs his hand, and he goes and he goes and he goes and like he cuts his hand off, and he goes and grabs it in a sword fight, and they're fighting with machetes. And what happened? What? I'm making a video. Making a video. Okay, whatever. No, I'm making a video. Thank you. Anyway, I was about to edit it out. Dude, they fight with these swords, yo. And they fight with these swords, yo. And it's like, yo, like, yo, they fight with these swords. And like they have these machetes. These are big machetes. These are like them things they ban in the UK, yo. That them dudes be drilling with stuff, yo. Them UK people, like some zombie knife or whatever. Yo, dude, he cuts his hand off. It flies like 30 feet. They stop fighting. He goes and he picks it up, and they both go their separate ways. What are we doing out here, yo? I mean, yo, it's the same thing. I love watching fight videos. Oh, I love it. I love it. There's something so distinctly human about watching people beat each other up, and it's maybe it's a problem. I don't know. I like watching. Oh my gosh, I look fine. Never mind. It's just the lighting. Never mind. And dude, one time, I'm sure it's in there. These guys were fighting in a bathroom, and the guy pins the guy to the stall, and he's beating him up. He's like, and the guy's like, in a bathroom stall. And then, or like, but it's like a urinal, but there's like dividers, but you can still see over them, but it's enough to hide your private parts. You get the idea? And the guy, there's like a group of dudes, and the guy pulls out a gun, and the guy that's beating up the dude, he doesn't see it, and the guy who's filming immediately turns around, but you can hear it in the background, and I'm like, I mean, it's unfortunate, that people resort to using, shading, so baddie, so sigma. It's unfortunate that people resort to that, because it's like, come on, dude, not cool, man, not awesome sauce, and quite frankly, not baller. For you to do that, I think it's the fade, the the smoke, the square up. It's an important part of human existence. Never, like, during unprecedented times, right? I mean, I know a few thousand years is different, right? But humans don't move that fast. Take it back like 30,000 years ago. We run a fade, right? Nowadays, you don't know if you're gonna get shot or not. And it wasn't always. And it's not just nowadays. You go back then, someone gonna pull a saber out on you. Best believe they gonna chop your hand off like them Haitian dudes. And it's not even like that before. Yo, dude, they gonna pistol whip you with a flintlock. Like they only got one shot, and it's gonna make like a cloud of dust. But at the same time, it's like, yo, it's crazy. But even we go even farther back, swords and shit. Yo, I'm just saying, like, don't be no Roman in front of a shield wall, cause they gonna hit you with a gladius. I think that's what it's called. I don't know, right? Don't be a don't be a Persian. At the Battle of Thermopylae, 300. Cause you know what's gonna happen? They gonna hit you with a spear. And don't be a Spartan at the Battle of Thermopylae. They gonna kill you. Persian immortals don't play. And dude, that's such a good name. Persian Immortals. The 10,000 Persian Immortals. So fire. So fire. So fire, dude. Like, genuinely, that's like a badass name. I'm an immortal. I'm a Persian Immortal. That's aura. That's high baller activity. Dude, and it's like, scab on my knee. Red blood spells. Fear me. Anyways. No, dude. And it's like, what was I talking about? Running the fade, yo. Yo, you just gotta realize, man, that, like, unprecedented times, you can never have a fair fight, you know? You probably can. It happens all the time. But, I mean, there's always that risk, right? You know, back then, I mean, it wasn't really there. I mean, you go up north, you be a Viking. They ain't gonna hit you with an axe. Actually, probably not. They're probably gonna use a spear. That was, like, the greatest weapon for pretty much, like, what? The past 10,000 years or something like that. Spear, pole arm, pike. It's a long stick with a pointy thing at the end. Sometimes the stick is the spear, and you don't even need like a tip. You just, I mean, it works. It gives you distance. You don't want to be close to a guy when you poke him in the face, right? That's not optimal with a spear. You want a spear. You don't want. I mean, a sword is cool, but a spear is cheap. Spears aren't hard to make. It's a lot easier to find, like, even like a 7-foot branch that's relatively straight. Just sharpen out the end of it. That's a spear. I mean, come on. I mean, you could really take it a step further. They did take it a step further. They added, like, they fucking freaking at the beginning, they put obsidian on it, or flint, or whatever. You know. Well, now you're working with some real deal type beat. You know. Like, now that's gonna go right into them. And then they just started adding iron to it, and copper, or bronze, or whatever. Iron spear. And then they started chucking the motherfuckers. That's crazy. Like, yo, what do they call them? A javelin? I don't know. They got named. Yo, that's the thing about Greek names. Yo, who the fuck is naming their kid fucking Socrates? Aristotle. Hey, young Aristotle. Like, what? Diogenes. And these are just philosophers. These are philosophers. These are like important people that we know of. These probably weren't even complicated names. Plato. Okay, Plato's not crazy. That's like being named Plato. Like being named Carter. That's not crazy. And maybe it was just different back then. But like, how the hell are you gonna be named Theseus? Theseus. Really, of all names, you could have been named like Garrett, which isn't really. That's actually not. I'd rather be named Theseus. Garrett. You could have been named like Archibald. That's actually a really bad name too. God. But no, like, and that's just the thing with Greek names. You know, Greek names are just so weird. And man, the Greeks were weird too, bro. Yo, like, maybe I'm wrong about this, but like, didn't they freaking like? I know, like, and I don't hate femboys, and I don't hate people who interact with that group of people. But weren't like the femboys like low key kids? And weren't the dudes low key old ass men? I know dudes only what? They lived like to 50 back then. Right? I think that's what it was. Well, I think it's. I heard that, at least I think, the reason why. What happened is that. It's like the reason why people live so long is because like disease would get them, right? Yeah, like the things that would get young people, disease, injuries. Because I mean, like think about it. If you broke, like let's say you rolled your ankle back then, what are you gonna do? You don't know any like, and that's the thing. People be like, they did to pick cavemen as these stupid things. They got like the thwack, you know. But it's like they weren't like that. They were pretty much, if not entirely, at the same level as us. Intelligent. Maybe even more. Probably more. But the thing is that they didn't have the facilities in place, or the knowledge, really, the wisdom, the past experiences of learning to be able to do those things. You could teach a caveman how to drive. Go back 10,000 years, you could teach a dude how to drive. You know? You could teach him how to operate a crane. You could teach him how to shoot a gun. Actually, teaching someone how to shoot a gun isn't very hard. They have like, they fucking have children doing that nowadays. You could teach him. You could teach him how to fly a plane. Really, I mean, if you really tried, you know. And it's just like they're not so different from us. Dude, the yap is kind of insane. I don't know where I started from. And they're not so different from us, you know. They're really not. They're really similar. I mean, differences. There's differences. Bones, muscular systems, right? I mean, obviously, like, animals will change after 50,000 years. I mean, the Neolithic Revolution and the start of farming definitely, you know, deeply influenced human beings as creatures. We didn't have to hunt for food. We still did, obviously. You know, hey man, I've been eating my baby back ribs every once in a while, you know what I'm saying? I can't go a day without some of that veal. But it's like, you know, we stayed in one place. At least I think this is how it goes. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm wrong. Right? We stayed in one place now. We didn't stay in one place, but we wanted to be where the food was, right? That's really how it is. And you want to be the food is because food is energy. You know? And it's like people stopped moving around because they knew where the food was. The food is right here. I put the plant in the ground multiple times. I put the hard rock that came out of the fruit of the plant, the hard little pebble that is in all my fruit, and I put it in the ground, and it starts growing again. And then and when it grows more fruit with more rocks in them. So then I plant more rocks and make more fruit. And that's how it went. And that's how they did it. And that was agriculture. And then it never changed again. Actually, it did. Definitely. With fertilizer and stuff. You know, aggregation and irrigation and cultivation, cross-pollination, whatever. You know. But that's basically how it went. Seeds. Plants. Rain. Trees. Fruit falls. Fruit hits ground. Fruit decomposes. It starts again. Seeds. And then it starts again. That's really how it went. You know what I'm saying? My nose. Anyways, I mean, what is there more to talk about? That's pretty much how it went. You know, you had people making food. They just made it. And then that's how we got croutons. That's how we got, Pillsbury Doughboy. That's how we got Jujutsu Kaisen. That's how we got Coca-Cola. And most importantly, like, that's how we're here. We live because food. We live because of food, and I think that's one of the core human principles, right? Food. Every human does it. Every human does food, believe it or not. We gotta eat. You gotta get your calories from somewhere, right? That's something that just inherently makes us human. Different everywhere. Food is different everywhere, but at the same time, it's not so different, right? You take food from far out places, like go to the UK and eat kidney pie, kidney pudding. But then you go over to the faraway land of Los Angeles County, and then you'll find the same shit. What am I talking about? No, I think I lost track. But what I'm trying to say is that, look, you borrow ingredients and stuff, and you got stuff everywhere. And food's not so different. Food is something we can all relate on. We can all experience. At the end of the day, after a long, hard day, what you want is you want a nice plate, bowl, just platter, just a thing. Maybe some fruit, I don't know, of something, of food. Maybe it's warm, maybe it's cold, maybe it's room temperature. Maybe it's hot as hell. You stick your tongue on it, it falls off. It's super cold. You touch it, your fingers turn purple. Whatever it is, man, humans want it because of that. Like, that's how it was back then. You spent all day chasing after this deer. It took you like what, 30 miles? Not probably 30 miles, maybe a little less, maybe like 10, 15, 10 miles. You and your group of like 5 dudes, right? You got Thunk, Grunk, Bink, Zink, and Fitzgerald, right? And this is like back before we had farming. We just chased after our perseverance hunting. That's what you did after a long day. You went out and you went and go hunt, right? You didn't go like with a bow and arrow. We didn't have those yet. You had a rock, or depending on how close to the modern day it was, you had a spear, right? And you chased them down for like 10 miles, and then they fell over because they were tired, and you just kind of, and then the animal accepted defeat, and then you fucking killed it, and then you ate it, and then you had a good time. You came back home, and you had a blast. And then you ate up that deer ass. You fucking ate it up, antlers and all. The fucking eyeballs, hooves. I'll be using that shit. Fucking, I'll be using that as a shoe, man. Give me a nice couple of deer leather boots. I'll be walking out the house. Put me at the Met Gala. Oof, they gonna be juicing for it. As I was saying, humans can really, get down. Humans can really get down on some grub, yo. Like that's just one inherent thing that every human gets. And it doesn't have to be good food. It's all different, right? That's the great thing about food. It's so diverse, and it could really just be anything. Yo, there's a fucking dude eating an airplane. Are you supposed to eat a fucking airplane? No. Did he eat an airplane? Yeah. Like, I'm just saying. Are you supposed to eat a bicycle? No. Did he eat a bicycle? Yeah. Did he like eating a bicycle? Yeah. Did he like eating the airplane? Yeah. Was it food? No. Did he eat it? Yeah. Was it food to him? Yeah. Okay, then he liked it. It's food. It's something we can still get down on, right? We can still bust down on some food. Like, I'm about to rip up some eats. And it's just like, it could really be anything, boiled potatoes. Hey man, I know there's some dude out there in fucking on the outskirts of Omsk, Russia, clobbering down on some boiled potatoes, right? But I also know there's probably fucking a dude in China clobbering down some hot pot, right? And it's the same way. There's definitely a dude in the United States busting it down on a Big Mac, right? Like everywhere you go all over the world, like there's definitely a dude in India, mutton biryani. They chowing down on that hoe. They in Vietnam, Laos. They busting down some sticky rice. Fucking man, you go to like the UK, man. I don't know what they eat. Crisps. They eat chips, whatever. Like anywhere you go in the entire planet, yo. Like they gonna be eating that shit. You know what I'm saying? Uh, like you go to Sweden, they gonna give you some preserved fish and shit. Smells like ass. But the same thing, it smells like dick ass, right? But you go over to the tropical lands of Indonesia, you're gonna find yourself a durian. It's gonna smell like the underside of your mama's feet. It smells like butthole canister 9000. That don't smell good. It smells like a dumpster baked in the hot summer sun and is filled with fucking rotten tomato juice. Ew, what the fuck? But durian tastes good. The fish might not. But durian tastes good. And it's just like no matter what, you can still get down on some grub. You can still get down on them good eats. There's a cooking show called Good Eats. And it's just like, that's just one of the things that makes you inherently human. Is some good motherfucking food. And drink. Can't forget the bev. Never, never, never. Like, that's what I love talking about. Things that make us human, yo. Because what makes you human? Realistically, our biological purpose is to be on this fucking planet and reproduce. That's our biological purpose. But if we really dig into it, we're more than that, right? Because look what we've created: masterpieces, Fortnite, the Da Vinci. I mean, the Michelangelo, the Sistine Chapel, fucking the Colosseum, right? The Eiffel Tower, the Great Wall of China, Great Pyramids of Giza. Yo, like Machu Picchu. These are cool ass shits, right? Like when we break it down to baseline, like let's take it all the way down. When we was bacteria and archaea and shit, what did we do? This is what we did. We probably didn't even move, bro. We ate the fucking sun. And before we did that, we ate each other in thermal vents. And you know what our purpose was? To do this. Now, we still do that. Maybe too much. One could say there's too many of us. However, there's more to it than that. There's more to life than that, right? And that's just like we really got to bring into it. What's our purpose? And you know that gets into the big can of worms, right? Religion, nihilism, just really philosophy. Like we're not even supposed to be here. Type B. Or we can get into like there was a creator, like God or Allah or all the other religions of the world. We can get into like Hinduism and type B. Or we go down a nihilistic route. You know? Not even supposed to be here, nothing matters. We can go in that like atheist route, be like, it's all science. It's just coincidence, But like all those things, it really brings us to think, why are we here, yo? And like what makes us human? Like what makes us who we are? Because we're complex creatures. As simple as we are, we got 2 legs, 2 arms, 2 eyes, a mouth, a nose, 2 ears. That's if you're lucky. Which is most people have those. If you don't, you're supposed to have those. And if you weren't supposed to have those, then I'm sorry. But you don't have those. But you're still probably human if you're understanding what I'm saying. Right? And it's just like but what makes us human, right? Because clearly, you look at a dude with no fucking legs, it got blown up or some shit. He's still a human being, right? So clearly, it can't be our bodies that determine what's a human being. But then you look at a fucking chimpanzee, right? And then you look at a dude, you look at a normal, you look at a random jit from NYC. They're different, right? Chimpanzee and a human, right? But then like you go with a chimpanzee and it's like, wait, a chimpanzee's kind of human. So what line determines what's a human and what's not a fucking human? Because let's think about this. People look at like gorillas, orangutans, chimpanzees, and shit, bonobos, whoops, and like they're so human. They like it's like they understand us. It's like yeah, to an extent they understand us, but what line do we draw? Right? And maybe it doesn't. And maybe that's the problem that I'm having. Right? Maybe it doesn't have to be a line. Maybe it's more like a gradient. Right? Maybe there's more nuance to that. Right? It can't just be a line because clearly there has to be more than that. It can't just be a line because there's no. I really don't think there's any set human and set not human. Right? A chimpanzee is not a human. Right? But at the same time, human's not a chimpanzee, right? There's a clear difference, but at the same time, they have similarities, and you can't just draw a line between that. And it's the same thing for many other things that makes us human. And I don't think we're ever gonna know. We can come close, but I don't think we're ever gonna truly, perfectly perfect our understanding of what makes us totally human. And maybe we will, and maybe the CIA already has those answers. But what, what like it's hard to pinpoint, but I know one thing: food. We can bust down on some food. I like me a good orange. I like me a good grapefruit. I can bust down some fruit. That's really what it's all about. Man, fuck the philosophy shit. I want me a mango. I want me a watermelon. Give me a star fruit. Give me a dragon fruit. Give me a pineapple. I'm bust down everything, yo. Give me a lychee. Give me a kiwi. I'm naming all apple, orange, banana. I want some fruit. That's what it's really all about. Anyways, good night, y'all. Fruit and shit and life and philosophy and dudes getting their hands cut off and a guy fighting in the bathroom getting shot in the back of the face and then Greek philosophers and shit. Good night, y'all.